How's it going again, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Adrock, and I'm back with another Freelancer breakdown, this time for Zuki. Zuki is a long-range AoE, blast them all the hell and back kind of character, and if you see her on the field, it's best to duck and cover. But enough about that, let's get into her abilities, modifications, skins, and thoughts. Zuki's skin includes the basic Rocketeer, which you get Chocolate at level 1, the default, Blueberry at 6, Licorice at 8, Olive at 10, the Golden Age, which you can only get through the Trust Pack, and Smoke, which you can obtain through the Titan's Loot Matrix. Her secondary skin you can get at release is Moonwalker, which you have the default Hazmat, Space Dust at 6, Ionosphere at 8, and Samite at 10. Now we move on to Zuki's abilities. Her first ability is Bombard, a blast phase, no cooldown attack, which will fire a missile that hits an enemy or a wall and will explode, dealing massive damage to the first target hit. Bombard does 10 energy per enemy damaged, and about 2/3 that to anyone around him. Modifications include Rocket Fuel, which will give additional energy per enemy hit, the default Mr. Punch, which will increase the damage to the initial target, and Extra Shrapnel, which will increase the damage to nearby enemies. Zuki's second ability is Sticky Bomb, a blast phase 3 cooldown ability that comes in 2 phases. The first phase, she'll attach sticky bombs to anybody in a cone, and the bombs will then explode the next turn during blast phase, dealing damage. You do gain 8 energy per enemy hit. Modifications include Phosphorus Residue, which will reveal targets until the end of the turn, the default Stickiest Bombs, which will slow any target it explodes on, Pyrotechnic, which will reduce the cooldown of sticky bombs for each enemy hit but increases the base cooldown, and Restrictive Glue, which will weaken a target when applied until the end of the next turn. Zuki's third ability is the Big One, a prep phase 4 cooldown ability which will shoot a missile into the sky, and after a 1-turn delay, comes down, damaging anybody in the epicenter for big damage and lesser damage to people that are adjacent to the center. It also ignores cover. Modifications include the Bigger One, which will increase the damage for anybody caught in the middle 3x3 squares, Long Range Ballistics, which will give an additional 6 range, Shock and Awe, which will slow any enemies caught in the targeting area for the first turn, Peekaboo, which now makes the Big One a free action but increases the cooldown by 2, and Regenerating Ammo. If no enemies are hit, the cooldown is reduced by 3. Zuki's fourth ability is Rocket Jump, a dash phase 6 cooldown ability which will jump to a target position and damage any enemies near the blast off area. You gain 10 energy upon use. Modifications include Extra Big Boom, which increases the damage, Booster Jet, which gains additional energy on use, Something Extra, which gains you might until the end of the turn, Eat My Dust, which slows any enemy caught in the liftoff explosion, and Blast Shield, which will give you shield until the end of the next turn. Zuki's ultimate is Missile Storm, a prep phase 0 cooldown ability, so long as you have 100 energy, which will lock onto enemies during the prep phase, and then during the blast phase will shoot a barrage of missiles at them. It does ignore cover and deals pretty big damage. Modifications include Replicating Rockets, which gives each target hit 5 energy, Enhanced Targeting, which will target through walls, but reduces the damage, and Concentrated Fire, which increases the damage but reduces the damage for each target hit beyond the first. And now, since we're done with the abilities and skins, here are my own personal thoughts. Feel free to disagree with them. In fact, I do love heated debate and, conversations about how this part goes. I want to see what you guys think about my own personal thoughts on these characters. Zuki is fun. It's just scorch earth, laugh maniacally, and spit on everyone's grave as you walk away. Not gonna lie, she's currently my favorite freelancer in the game right now. Her ability to keep away and still DPS the heck out of groups is super fun in solo queue. Bombard is probably my favorite basic ability to use in the games, as you can just eke out that last little extra bit of damage from just the tip. Phrasing. Mr. Punch feels kind of meh compared to, say, Rocket Fuel or Extra Shrapnel. And Extra Shrapnel I do like a lot because if you can get those clutch max range tags, you get that little extra bit of DPS, which can secure a kill or scrap a shield for somebody else to follow up with. Sticky Bomb is great to bait out shields, giving enemy melee second thoughts about hitting you and giving people who run heal catalysts a false sense of security. The Stickiest Bombs mod and Restrictive Glue can really help against melee, while Phosphorus Residue can help keep track of that Nyx or Gray, while Pyrotechnic just kind of works wonders when the enemy team groups up, or if you want to keep up that constant pressure. The Big One needs Zuki and any Zuki players to really read the flow of battle to see if you can use it offensively or defensively. If you're against a heavy melee group, leading your shots will be super helpful, and even running back into the blast zone can help you get that landed shot. You can defensively throw out the Big One to zone out enemies or bait out dashes, as most people, they're kind of keen to get out of there, because they don't really want to be comboed the next turn in case they really do decide to stick around. Regenerating Ammo is a safe bet if you're still trying to get used to playing Zuki and get used to the ability because of how odd and long that ability takes to fire off, While Shock and Awe I like a lot, as it helps slow down the charge or make range enemies that are caught in it panic a little bit and probably make a dumb mistake. Rocket Jump's range isn't my super favorite. Kind of reminds me of Garrison's jump, which, most jumps whatever. I'm kind of, those like minimum range jumps I've never been a big fan of. I get the point of it. That way you're just not jumping to the next ability and go, haha, that next tile's gonna save me. You kind of have to really plan your jump out ahead of time. But it does give you major style points if you combo it after a big one or a sticky bomb, mostly because it kind of feels like it's a slap in the enemy's face, which is really gratifying. But its mods don't really feel as impactful as the others, although I do prefer Eat My Dust if you're trying to get away with style, or Blast Shield if you don't quite know where you'll end up when you land. Personally, if we're going to go into Missile Storm, I like to use it late in the game or as soon as I know I can get the ability off with almost 100% certainty. Basically, the reason I keep it personally later on for the game is that I want other players to waste their dashes, waste their blinks, all that kind of stuff, or have such a long cooldown on them that I know I can land this, and they're just kind of sitting there just going, oh, this really, really sucks. A low mobility team is much easier to hit with this, while a well-communicated team can potentially corral enemies to dash into it, which makes it easier for everybody else. Either they're going to eat a rocket to the face, or if you have that well-corralled communication there, they'll dodge that but run into something else. Either way, if you play Missile Storm right, you can do some massive damage. The arc is nice and wide, but don't kid yourself on the range. I always seem to be just out of the range, which is kind of funny for me since I'm used to playing that super long bombard shots with Zuki. So it's kind of funny. I mean, all in all, I really just like Michael bang my way through a match. Zuki's personality feels like a really tame, and not in a bad way, cross of Tank Girl with any child that has access to firecrackers and a little parental supervision. She's just a super big blast for me to play. And really, if you get a chance, she does say hard difficulty on her card. It just takes some getting used to with leading your shots and having a lot of delayed abilities. So, get a few practice rounds in and see how you feel with that kind of character and with that kind of playstyle, and then just go blow everything up. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it this time for Freelancer Breakdown featuring Zuki. My name is Adrock, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below, in Reddit or anywhere else you guys find this. I'd love to hear any feedback to make the Freelancer Breakdown series better for you guys, the ones who watch it. Go ahead and pass this on to people who want to play Atlas Reactor or don't quite know, or if you have a new character that you want to try out and aren't quite sure of, keep watching this series. Until then, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.